Hello everyone! I thought it was time to make a large resin geode again. I'm always having so much fun creating these geodes. And I'm going to use different materials to create some nice textures. I love textures. So this geode will not totally be flat. I'm going to show you as much as I can from the process. Of how I created this large resin geode. So I already started with adding some resin on top of my artboard, and now I'm using some nice iridescent glitter flakes in the color green and blue, because I want to have some nice holographic shine or sheen under my acrylic crystals, because I think that will give me a nice effect. Now I'm adding some fireglass, a mixture of fireglass and small acrylic crystals on top of those iridescent glitter flakes, and some larger acrylic crystals. There you can see it, because I need to hide the edge of my artboard, and I'm using a rather large geode artboard. This artboard is about 50 by 70 centimeters. I've primed it with 2 layers of gesso and 2 layers of acrylic paint. Adding more acrylic crystals. Then I need to let this dry before I pour the first layer of resin. So we are 24 hours later, and the first color I'm using is a Bombay ink in the color Aqua. So next to the acrylic crystals, a thin line of this color, and it's very transparent, so you can see the glitter flakes through that color, so that's great. Next to the Bombay ink, I'm using the Resin Pro white paste, also a very thin line, and the resin I'm using is the Art Pro resin from Resin Pro. It's a medium viscosity. Next to the white, it's a mixture of 2 of my own mica pigments, the Azure and the Aurora Green. I'm letting those colors bleeding into each other. And this is a longer video because I messed up my whole first layer. Yeah, it's okay now, but further in the video you will see, yeah, I don't like it, but I'm gonna show you anyway, because I also make mistakes. But you can always pour a second layer. And this color is a very nice color. It's from Resin. It's the Cool Mint. Next to the Cool Mint, also one of my own natural mica pigments, it's the Azure. Very nice color. It has a blue and green shade. And those colors go very well together. And this color is a very nice dark blue shade. It's the Moonlight Shadow. Also one of my own natural mica pigments. If you are interested in my mica pigments, I have listed them in my Etsy shop. The link to my Etsy shop is in the description box below this video. And they are also available in the USA and Canada by my associate Evelyn Schaefer. Also the link to her Etsy shop is in the description box. Next to the white, the Beyond Rich Gold, also one of my mica pigments, and this mica pigment will float on top of your resin. But yeah, this, you don't need a lot of this color, because it can take over all the other colors easily. You can already see that the line is very thick. And now the painting or the geode looks okay. But in a minute I will show you what I did wrong. So first the torch to remove some air bubbles. Still looking okay. No problem here. But now I'm going to use a heat gun, and I'm going to use a lot of heat to create some effects, but that also means that if I use heat next to the gold, that the gold will spread. And in a minute you will see that it spreads a lot and I don't like it. There you can see it. So maybe I should have stopped here, but I didn't. I keep going. So I'm adding more white. But that also doesn't work. Now I'm going to add more of the light shade of green, more of the white, but still the gold is too much in my opinion. There are some people that are going to like this, but I don't like it because also my dark blue is almost gone. So I'm adding more also into the gold, but also that is not working. I'm only making more mess in my opinion. More white. So I don't like this layer. So I will add for sure a second layer to cover this whole first layer. So I'm almost done. Then I need to let this dry and then I will start on the second layer. So off camera I try to save it by swiping over the colors, but that also didn't work. It's more mess than it was already. So I'm going to start over. I'm going to add those iridescent glitter flakes again. There you can see it. And I'm going to do the same as what I did in the first layer, but now I'm using another resin, also from the Resin Pro company, but this is the Resin Pro Art Pro Deluxe, and it's a thicker viscosity resin, so that means that the colors will not bleed that much into each other. So maybe that will work. And I've learned not to add too much heat onto my gold and use less. So again the Aurora green and the azure mixed into each other. Next to it the Lores cool mint, because I like the colors. So I'm going to use the same colors. And the moonlight shadow again. Yeah, I could have left out the first layer, but I thought, yeah, I'm going to show you anyway, because if there are some people that have my mica pigments, then you know that you don't need a lot of that brilliant rich gold and that you don't want to add too much heat on top of it. But I'm going to use it anyway, so again the rich gold, a very thin line. So, and this will be my base layer. So I will be adding for sure at least 2 more layers, but also different materials to create some nice texture. Again, some white. Yeah, the snoring you are hearing is from my friend's bulldog. But yeah, he always makes noise. Again, the mixture of the Aurora Green and the Azure and the Cool Mint. The Moonlight Shadow, very nice dark blue color. And you can already see that the colors don't bleed that much into each other, and that has to do with the resin. It's a very thick resin. Again, a line of gold, very thin. And white. So if you're making a mistake, then you can always add another layer. You don't have to throw it away. So the rest will all be white. And then my base layer is almost done. Yeah, this looks already much better for my first layer. Yeah, it's the second, but yeah. Spreading the resin with my steering stick. The torch to remove some air bubbles. And now I'm going to add a little bit of heat, and so you can see I'm using that heat gun straight, so not in an angle, so that way the line doesn't spread too much. But I still want to create some blending of colors. There you can see it straight on top of the line. I'm adding the heat. So I'm almost done, and I'm going to let it dry for 24 hours before I can add some nice textures. So the resin is dry. Now I'm going to add some acrylic lines, but also some dots. There you can see me make a dot with the black Posca marker, filling it in, because I'm also going to use my chameleon mica pen on top of that black, making circles, filling it in. And the resin dried very well, so you can see the gold is much less, so the line is thinner. And to make nice round dots, I'm using this tool. I don't know the English word for it, but yeah, you can see what I'm using. So in different places I've added dots. Now I'm going to dry those dots with my heat gun. And then on top I'm using one of my chameleon mica pens, and this is the color green blue. So it shifts from green to blue. So at the end of this video I'm going to show you a close-up, and hopefully you can see both of those colors because it's very nice. So on top of that black, this color, and also some white lines, and I'm using again the Posca marker. And another line. A second line next to it. Yeah, now I'm going to use spray paint. This is the color from Liquitex Fluorescent Green, and on top a special crackle spray. Then I'm going to add some heat, and in a minute you can see the cracks appear. So this is a new crackle paste that I'm using from the website resinkunst.de. I also have a promo code of that website, so all the information to all my promo codes are in the description box. Yeah, I covered the rest of my geode with some paper and some window film. So first the green color, a thick layer, and then on top, when the paint is still wet, the crackle spray, there you can see it, also available in several colors, and then some heat and the cracks appear. And I'm also going to use the XL crackle paste, and I've colored the base layer, the primer, with some deco art paint, and the deco art was the fresh mint. So into that primer, so the first layer, I've added a little bit of the acrylic paint from Deco Art. And this first layer needs to be about 1 to 2 millimeters thick. And I'm spreading it with my spatula. And another color. And to color the primer, I've used Vallejo Fluid Acrylics in the color Prussian Blue. I've used this crackle paste one time before. I will add a link to that video in the right corner, and it creates really nice large cracks. I like it a lot. But yeah, it's a two-component crackle paste. So the first layer is a primer. You need to use that primer, otherwise your crackle paste will not stick. So on top, the second layer, this is the crackle paste. And the thicker you add this layer, the larger the cracks will be. So I'm going to add a thick layer because I want to have large cracks. Spreading it again with my spatula. So you can color the base layer, so the primer, with some acrylic ink or acrylic paint. Then your cracks will get that color. You can also leave it white and spray your second layers. And what I'm doing now, I want my second layer black. Adding also a little bit of white. And if the white area around this crackle paste will get also some white spray paint, doesn't matter because I'm going to add more texture and then you won't see it again. Again, the base layer in the color Fresh Mint from Deco Art, colored this with that acrylic paint, adding it with my palette knife. So this layer needs to be 1 to 2 millimeters thick. You can also leave this layer white, then your cracks will be white. But I want to have some nice green blue cracks. And on top the second layer. Spreading it again with my palette knife. And the cracks will appear in 1 to 7 days. So it needs to dry for a long time. Removing my paper. And now I'm going to fill in the other areas with another texture paste, and this is made out of marble dust or marble flour and an acrylic binder. And there's no ratio, you can add as much binder as you want or less. A little bit further in the process. Yeah, what I already mentioned, I'm going to show you as much as I can from the process, but only small parts of it, because if I would show you everything, then the video will be very long. So we are a few hours later. Now I'm going to add a gold line, and this is made out of Vallejo polyurethane gloss varnish, and I mixed some buoyant rich gold in it. So one of my mica pigments mixed into a gloss varnish. And you can already see that I have some nice cracks, some large cracks in that XL crackle paste, also available from the website resingeode. So all the supplies I've used you can find at the end of this video, but also in the description box below this video with the links to the websites, as I always do. Another gold line. Yeah, this takes some time. Now I'm going to color the texture paste, and I'm using the Vallejo fluid in the color black. And I think it's already looking nice. Still need to add more details. So we are a little bit further in the process. And this crackle paste, or no crackle paste, structure paste, will get 2 layers of black. And after that I'm going to do more with it, but that you will see in a minute. But first need to color the whole structure paste with black, then I need to let it dry. Yeah, this was a long process because of drying time of different materials. Again, further in the process, I'm adding also a line on top of the texture paste on the edge. There you can see it. And I'm using the same gold, the gloss varnish and the Beyond Rich Gold. And the black is dry. Now I'm adding with my finger the pigment of my chameleon mica pen. I'm rubbing it on top of the texture paste, so the higher parts will get this color, the blue-green color. And another color that I'm testing is a holographic gold, also using that mica pen. So with my finger, again adding it on top of the texture. And I'm using 2 shades of gold, a darker gold and a holographic gold. There you can see it. I think that looks nice. That is the lighter shade. Again, a little bit further in the process. And I'm getting more cracks in the crackle paste. So that's great. I think it looks nice with those colors, the blue and the mint. So I'm going to start on the third layer. First I'm going to add a dark blue glitter line, and I've mixed several glitter colors into each other. I'm using the Art Pro Deluxe again. I've added it into a Ziploc bag, and now I'm adding the line. There you can see it better. And what I also did off camera is that I colored the second layer of the crackle paste with black, and I have some really nice cracks. I like it a lot. Now I'm going to fill in the whole layer with clear resin, except for the crackle paste that needs to dry for one more day. And I've also added more lines, one golden line but also a glitter line in the color gold. And for those fine glitter lines or thin glitter lines, I'm using the Viva Decor glitter pens. I think they are great. So also some resin on top of the texture paste. Spreading it with my stirring stick. So this will not be totally flat. It was also not my intention to make it totally flat because I love texture. So there will be parts, yeah, that are not flat. And then especially the crackle paste, the XL crackle paste, and the texture paste that I made out of marble dust. So we are a day later, and now I'm going to add some iridescent flakes into the cracks of the large crackle, the large cracks. There you can see it. I think that will look nice. A few of those iridescent glitter flakes into those large cracks, and a little bit on top of the black. Also, this takes a lot of time, so I'm only going to show you parts of it, but you can see what I'm doing. Spreading those flakes with my stirring stick. So we are 24 hours later. I also filled all the other cracks with the iridescent glitter flakes, and now I'm going to add on top of those glitter flakes, I'm going to add a color, and this is again the Bombay Ink Aqua, very transparent, so that the glitter flakes will shine through this color. I think that will give me a nice effect. There you can see it, spreading it. Also on top of the black I've added a few iridescent glitter flakes. So now also on top this blue-green color. There you can see it, filling in those cracks. And again I'm using the Art Pro Deluxe, the thicker resin. So this needs to dry, and after that I'm going to add one more layer, and that will be my last clear layer. And then my geode is done. Very long process, but I had so much fun. The torch to remove some air bubbles. So this is the end result. So what I mentioned, I've added a last layer, and what I also mentioned, it's not totally flat. That was also not my intention. It can have some structure, I like that, but I'm very pleased with the end result. I love those cracks and the marble dust texture paste with my mica pigments on top of it. Very nice. So let me know what you think of my resin geode, my large resin geode. I also like those fluorescent green cracks that I made with the crackle spray. Here you can see the nice acrylic crystals, the glitter line, the dots. Yeah, I'm very happy with the end result. So all the supplies I've used you can find in the description box below this video with the links to the website. Don't forget, I have several promo codes. I hope you like this video and give me a thumbs up, and hopefully I will see you all in the next video. Bye!